This week on Hermitcraft.
I'm an adult who sits and looks at computers while holding down multiple buttons simultaneously for extended periods of time. I don't need, baby stuff like that.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is PixelRiffs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. If it's a little quiet around here, that's because half the server is tiptoeing around trying not to summon the warden, and the other half is basically on holiday. There's been a heatwave in most of the northern hemisphere, so it's not the ideal time to be stuck in the office trying to hold the sneak button with one sweaty thumb. Naturally, this means several of the hermits have decided to chill out for the rest of the month, and in Doc M's case, host a backyard party for the entire Psycraft server. TwitchCon is also happening this week, so holler if you're watching this from the convention floor and say hi to False Symmetry for us. Aside from that, Double Life is still happening and seems to be building to its dramatic conclusion, so perhaps we'll see people refocus on Hermitcraft once their number is up and now the Wild update has arrived in full force. But despite all this, we've still got some hermits who are out there poking wardens in the name of entertainment, so let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Joe Hills, who has several reasons to get excited. Reason number one is when Good Times with Scar brings over the horn section.
Wait, what is that noise?
I've got one for you.
What?
There you go, Joe. I got two. Yeah. There you go.
I thought you were setting up for a pun like we're about to have a good time with Ska or something.
The second excitement is having enough concrete to complete the warning label for his pinball machine backbox, advising anyone operating the machine to...
As I was checking my work after completing this, I realized I omitted the third line in this FCC information warning here. Ooh, that is rough.
The third is someone coming up with a genius new name for his frog-lined tunnel in the Nether Hub, and the fourth is his first visit to a mangrove swamp. Joe is so smitten with the biome that he's already making plans to maybe move to one in Season 10. But in the meantime, there's some cosmic horror to be found in the shapes of freshly grown mangrove trees, and Joe decorates the area behind his haunted house at spawn with a grove of glow-lichen-infested mang.
I don't mean to toot my own horn. Just kidding, I do. Look at the fantastic job I did. I hope you're liking it. I'm liking it too.
Additional cosmic horror is discovering the giant Rendog King statue T-posing to establish his dominance over the server.
What on earth is that? Why did I know that this was gonna happen? This was gonna happen either way. Oh no.
Since the unwalling of the Hermitcraft, False Symmetry travels into the depths of New World Gen for thrills and kills, though raiding an ancient city demands she first dodges every other hostile creature out of bounds of the Deep Dark biome.
That's terrifying. I'm not sure that's a good noise. Keeps making my sight go vanish. Go vanish. I can't English well when I'm scared, okay?
Facing the Warden, however, False quickly decides that sneaking past the big friend is a superior strategy, especially if you can snatch some diamonds on your way out. All the better, the subterranean settlements get a much more in-depth, ransacking when XB Crafted, Hypnotized, and iJevin hit the pavement.
That was mean, you jerk.
As expected, the subwoofer on legs proves to be a worthy opponent for the three of them, but the odds get even more fair once two more Wardens join the expedition.
Oh, I think I'm gonna get blasted. Run, Hypno, run. I found Sweet Sniff. I don't even know what I just said.
Sneak?
Something
Sweet Sniff.
with words, I don't know. I'm running.
Nevertheless, the hermits made their way to riches through a combination of sneaking, rushing, and throwing iJevin at the enemies repeatedly.
I got one enchanted book, all right? I'm gonna go back in and see if I can find two more, right?
The latter refused to leave the Deep Dark until he had enough swift sneak books for the whole group and some music for their stylish shuffle. Jevin goes on to a different Deep Dark later. In the space of the End Dimension, the Mad Lad tears down the server's Enderman farm in its entirety, only to replace it with something more aesthetically pleasing but also easier to lose on the black backdrop. Thus is the price of goth architecture, I suppose. But anyway, nice Phasmophobia Let's Play, you three.
He's really just chilling there, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mr. Guy, can you go in the ground, please? Should I bait myself?
Their experiences haven't put XB Crafted off messing with more of the Skulk, as he quickly realizes he has a spare zombie spawner he can put to work as a Skulk farm. While he doesn't have time to start that right away, he does get to complete his quartet of villagers surrounding whatever will be attached to these chains. Whatever it is, it's worth Tim Tebowing in front of.
They turned out pretty freaking spectacular, if you ask me, which obviously you did because you're on my channel. Hi, Pig. I'm still kind of struggling. Like, the thing that's going to be in the middle, I'm pretty sure about. That I'm still kind of struggling with a little bit, trying to figure out some kind of, like, final.
He's also managed to track down some allays, although they're on a break until 119.1 comes out and they can subdivide into a more helpful amount. Now, what has been reproducing in unwelcome amounts are the charged creepers all around Grian's base. We of course know that Doc M has been sending them, and they aren't that subtle about it either.
Subscribe to Doc! Is that it? No. No. We don't want those explosions here.
The poor base can't stop being filled with pranks of one kind or another, when even Grian himself hides some shriekers in the floor in an attempt to jump scare Impulse, which of course he does only to discover a shrieker someone already placed under his floorboards.
Someone has beat me to it. Uh-huh. You see... Alright, we place this here. Okay.
This is of course not much compared to what Tango later embeds into the exact same spot, basically, but more on that later. For now, Grian has made it out of the Deep Dark expedition with one of each thing the Deep Dark introduced, though his Swift Sneak book refuses to go on the boots for some reason. He must have not had enough levels, I guess. And the Skulk comes in handy for the crack in the foot of the boulder base that digs all the way down to the Rift Cave. After all, it's a nice spacey texture, we just wish he had enough of the thing. Impulse wasn't expecting to have this much experience with Skulk Shriekers.
Amazing bridge. Oh man!
He just wanted to stock Illuminate with frog lights, gathering frogs from all 3 biomes and dragging them across the nether roof to a bastion where he sets up a farm around a magma cube spawner. But then Fate and Grian, wielding the dare stick, decided that frogs weren't the only creatures he'd be dragging over the bedrock ceiling. Challenged to silence 3 wardens and hide them in people's bases, Impulse brings Grian with him to the ancient city, where they eventually discover that wardens love piston clocks. Once Grian's name-tagged them all, he pieces out, leaving Impulse to wrangle them onto the nether roof without getting sonic boomed into oblivion, which now explains why Impulse had 3 wardens he invited Pearlescent Moon to poke last week.
There we go. I don't know where he is though. Oh, the guy. Oh, he's close. Oh gosh, no! I didn't panic.
The trio of grumpy eldritch Gruffalos is hidden in artful locations around Etho, Corrales, and Good Times with Scars bases. But it's not long before the Super Trio gets together for their own Ancient City raid, and Impulse has to act like he hasn't done all this before.
Oh, it's another shrieker.
That sure did.
I'm looting the chests.
Oh, he's coming.
That's
He's coming.
the warden.
Once he gets hold of the Swift Sneak enchantment, Impulse swiftly sneaks over to a couple more ancient cities, looking to score a bunch of extra books for his bookstore, and retires the old enchanting service in favour of putting Swift Sneak 3 on sale. With all this excitement over, he returns to the Dwarven Keep to discover someone's installed a new novelty doorbell.
What was that? Oh no, that was a... There's a shrieker going off underneath my floor. What?
And finally, there's Tango Tech, who reveals that some server modification they have applied allows him to put a recording of his voice onto a music disc without exiting the game.
I don't know how these work yet, but basically, I can record a sound, put it on a music disc. Flea! Oh, come on! Don't cut off my extra flea!
Combined with the data pack that lets him automate the playing of a music disc, this feature becomes a pretty powerful tool for the future of Decked Out 2, as well as for his rap career.
Treasure Hunter. Beast Sense.
Either still poses quite the challenge for the guy. To put custom voice lines on a music disc, you first need the music disc. Luckily, iJevin allows him to turn his creeper manufactory into a record label as long as he brings his own skeletons, as well as pranks as many hermits as possible by putting custom sounds at their bases, something Tango was already going to do anyway.
It is your mission to try to sneak record plays into their videos or streams, even better.
Jevin, Can I just tell you that's literally what I planned on doing for the rest of
Oh
this
my god,
episode.
that's great minds think alike. I was thinking that, I was like, dude.
This means he can officially blame Jevin on the fact that Good Times with Scar's pavement screams hot guy in a variety of voices. And also on Grian's shulkerbox pile making double the shulkerbox noise.
Open. Close. I love it.
Okay, that one is borderline devious. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. I built a big bridge on Empire's SMP, which I hope is more impressive than I just made it sound. Anyway, you can find a link to that in the end screen theatre. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.